All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this quarter's town hall. Go ahead and go to the next slide, please. There we go. All right, hey, Colonel Joe Parker, Garrison Commander, Command Sergeant Major Brown, our Sergeant Major Todd Scalpa, our deputy, is over at Fort Riley. He was just hired on, and he is closing up shop there and moving over here. So we will get him on board here in December. But welcome and thank you guys for coming. Next slide, please. All right, so we've got a pretty good agenda today. We got some speakers that are going to be coming up to talk about some specific topics pertaining to housing and our internet. Safety's going to give us a couple of winter tips. DPW is going to give us an update on some of the projects that are going around the island. We'll talk about our MWR events, and then Sergeant Major and I will take any questions. Just for the record, we are recording this. It is not live. It will be posted to our installation Facebook page later on for folks to see it. We're not able to attend here in person. So, with that, next slide. No additional opening remarks other than thank you for coming here. We appreciate your support and this feedback. We genuinely mean that. Anytime you hear Sergeant Major and I talk, we're going to actively ask that you use the ICE system. If you see something good, if you see something that maybe is not where it needs to be, feedback is a gift. We genuinely mean that, and it's our opportunity to get a read on what's going on across the installation. And then action that appropriately to make sure we provide you guys the quality of care and the quality of life standards that we expect here in Rock Island. So, with that, Sergeant Major, do you have anything?
No, sir.
Okay. And let's go to the next slide. I think we got to turn it over to MediaCom real quick, so we're going to get started. Nice start.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. First of all, thank you for your service and welcome to the Quad Cities if you're new to the Quad Cities. So I welcome you here. I've been with MediaCom about 14 years. I've traveled across the Midwest, not as much travel as some of you I'm sure have done, but this market, I've been here since just before COVID, or the long ago before things changed. And we've had a really good relationship with the Arsenal and provide our services here. We're going through some upgrades coming up over the next year or so to increase our speeds on the internet side of things and our stability as well. So some of those things will be happening over the next year you'll hear about. One of the things we're going through right now that some of you may experience is if you don't have a box of some sort on any TV. So let's say you take our cable, the old cable system from us. You're going to have a box of some sort. It's called the encryption. We're encrypting all of our services. So that is one thing that if you have any TVs that are plugged into coax cable, they won't work coming up here in about a month or so. You'll have to have a box. We'll provide you with the box, no charge. We'll get that for you. We just need to know that you need one, and we can make that happen. So if you know if anyone in here right now, you have some TVs that may need that for, we can take your names after the meeting and get somebody to you, get that taken care of. If you have any internet issues, same thing. Sometimes you got to call that 1-800 number and you get in the queue and you're frustrated, so you don't call, but you get frustrated with internet issues. We don't want that. We want to know about them. Sometimes it's hard to get to the right people and it gets lost and you get frustrated. We don't want that. So we do have representatives here that we can help you in real time right now, or come back tomorrow and help if you have any issues with any of your service. One of the biggest problems we've had here on the island and in some of the older houses, especially anything that has a lot of stone, a lot of metal, would be Wi-Fi signals. So if you're having issues in your home, or you know of a friend or neighbor who does, sometimes that will be the issue, that it's not really the internet, it's the Wi-Fi. We kind of get blamed for it all, but we'll take that. But we do have some devices called Heroes. They're an Amazon product that we use. I think all the major providers use those now. And they'll help you with connectivity in your home, outside your home. It just depends on the layout of your home as to how many you might need. So that's something that we can help you with as well, and provide you if somebody's frustrated. Make sure that they get in touch with us and we'll get somebody to help them out. So that's kind of my spiel. And I didn't know if you have any questions, if there's any issues that we can address.
You have a pretty handy app that shows outages and notifies outages, I think. So I'm assuming you're tracking the outages.
Yes, we do. The Extreme app through MediaCom, you can even request a service call there. It shows when there's outages. Usually here on the island, we know if there's something going on. We had an issue about, I'm looking at John, because I think it was a month, or Brian, Chris might know, a month ago or so. We only have one node that feeds the island, so we usually know if there's something here going on.
That was the leading question, so my second part of that question is, if you know something's going on, why do I need to call through and then could MediaCom compensate customers when you're out for 2 days, instead of going through the whole process? Which that's where people get frustrated, hey, I got a call, if you knew I was out for 2 days, you should refund my account 2 days worth of internet, whatever
Yes.
30 days divided by 2 is worth.
Yeah, you bet, and that's what gets frustrating is in any large company, you know, a node's out or a certain street's out. If I know about it, if we know about it, we can definitely do that. I think that's probably been the frustration here, is just making sure we have a clear chain, someone you guys can go to and can get directly to me and not have to go through perhaps the 1-800 number, although that helps light up the screen. So we do know if there's an outage. If it's been a couple of days or something, there might have been something else going on, and that's frustrating. Again, that's where a local connection helps, because we can go, wait a minute, that's not right. So that's what I wanna make sure that we have a good local connection here, and, work with officials here to make sure everyone knows who to get hold of.
And I guess when you know the whole island's out, and you know the people are on the island out, what I'm driving at is, can you figure out a process just to refund us for those days versus us having to call and go through that whole process?
Actually, we should be able to, because I've got a list of all the customers that John's able to get for me, so I think we could do that.
That'd be great.
Yeah, you bet. Yes, ma'am.
So where are we with getting that local contact? Is that something that you guys have established, or is there something that we can give like ETA on when we will have a contact, and if that'll be via phone, email, et cetera?
Yeah, we had a really good pre-meeting, a couple of weeks ago, and made some contacts, so I'm not sure on your all site who we wanna use as our point, what did you recognize you for our meeting, who we wanna use as a point of contact for, you know, issues that can go directly to me and my team, so, you know, even if they call the 800 number, or if they just are frustrated, don't want to, that's fine too.
I think we can probably, sorry.
No, well, first, I think we should go for our agreement owner with David with MWR and Communities and then facilitate that, so we can get some information to them.
Okay, so you guys can get information out.
So I think the most streamlined and easy way, Dave, is what we'll do is get another reason to download the Miami Post app. We'll put a point of contact number in there that'll directly tie to who the local rep is. We'll sort it out after this. I know we'll get it, but we need to run it through MWR for a myriad of reasons, because they work with contract fees. We're tracking, our housing reps can then verify, and help. So you're not worried about it, but we've got folks on the Garrison staff and the housing office that can sit here and kind of make sure that you guys are tracking and following through this now.
So kind of playing along here, you know, if they have to refund us for outages, I
Yeah.
think we'll have a lot less outages.
So Haley's question, you are gonna put the contact number on the MyPost app
Yes, sir.
within the next.
We should be able to get the next week. Any issues between the team? App is up and running, we'll just figure out who the Stuckey is, sir, and then
Okay.
we'll get it on there. And that'll give you an easy way to get a hold of them. It'll be someone on the Garrison staff to start, and then we'll track that and make sure that we get it to you guys.
Okay.
Awesome, thank you so much.
Yeah, not a problem.
Perfect. Yes, ma'am.
So with this upgraded service that you're planning, are there any already planned disruptions in our services, especially for those of us who remote work, so that we can find other means
Right.
for us to work?
When we do that, I'm gonna say it should be seamless, but we all know that doesn't happen. We will let you know, because we are actually planning that out node by node, so we'll work with the team here that we met with a couple weeks ago and had plenty of notice, a good month. And it should be literally like a one day, one afternoon, changeover that we do. And basically that is, we're getting rid of our, we're known as an old cable company, but we're not, we're an internet company, we have more fiber in Iowa than any other company. And so we're going to take our TV service linear, so it'll be an app. And that frees up space on the internet, and it not only provides speed, but stability. And that's what, if you're working from home, I know when I work from home, and I'm on VPN, I don't know if you deal with the VPN VPN, but if you deal with VPN, those are tricky, because even a fluctuation in the internet can kick you off your VPN, even though you didn't lose internet, and then sometimes that VPN will be fickle with reconnecting and getting a new connection. We deal with probably half our trouble calls anymore, people working from home, and it's the stability that kicks them off whatever they're doing. So we're working to fix that, open up the spectrum so that the stability is there. If it makes sense, it'd be like having this much bedrock instead of this much bedrock with no sand in there. TV signal that we were sending is like sand. It fluctuates, it causes issues. So we're looking to get rid of that, put that all through the internet. And that should take care of those issues for everyone. And then if there's any other intermittent issues or things that you're experiencing, the contact that we're gonna put out, you can let us know, because again, where we only have one node here, we should know if there's those sort of issues, and
To,
so.
can I comment? To
Yeah.
a point, we do, so it takes a percentage to notify us. So it is a small percentage, like 5% of the node is out, and then we're notified that there's an outage. But there may be pockets that don't create that 5%, and then those would be when we would hope that you guys would call in with your service issues and let us know, so we can compile that, so we can see that, so we can come and react to it. We have one call 24 hours a day, so we're able to take care of these outages 24 hours a day, when we're sure that they are there, so.
Yeah,
But
sometimes
it
they
does take
sneak
a
under the
small
radar.
percentage to be aware of it.
Yeah, so the upgrade, should upgrade, we'll make sure there's plenty of notification, and actually in the future, with there only being one node,
It's pretty easy.
I don't know if there is a reason why we couldn't. I'll work with our HFC department and make sure if we're doing work on the node, because I know that was the issue here about a month ago or so, I think, is over the course of a week, I think they took things down 3 or 4 times, and I didn't find out until after the fact, and I'm not making excuses for anybody, but, this is contained enough, we should be able to notify if there's work going on. So we'll work to do that and find a way to disperse that information here.
But the upgrade itself coming, so
Right.
it can take like half an hour, maybe even a day.
Oh, yeah.
If you guys have that date, so that we can be pushed out.
As soon as we know, it'll probably be in the spring for the islands with one node by node. We're starting with our outer markets, some of the little towns, so we can make sure that it works well, the smaller pockets first, so.
Okay.
Yep. And again, if you're having connectivity issues or things like that, it's absolutely no problem for us to come and do a walkthrough or check the signal levels throughout your home or whatnot, and see what the problem is.
Any other questions for MediaCom?
All right, thank you all. We'll be here afterwards if you have anything else. Thank you.
All right, I'd like to welcome our housing partner up. We just got back from lovely Fort McCoy yesterday.
Hello, my name is Nicole Van Dale. For those of you who don't know me, I have a lot of familiar faces that I see out in the crowd. So thank you all for coming. We do have some really exciting news for our maintenance team. We actually just hired a maintenance supervisor and a maintenance technician. Thank you guys for your patience during that transition. We had a couple months where we just had floaters, so again, thank you, especially you guys over there. They've had a very long issue that we've been working with, so. If we could go to this slide here, we have Kevin, they're obviously not here, and then Andy as well. So see them out in the, community too. So to prepare for your home, we'll wanna make sure that you are removing your hoses. All windows are closed and latched appropriately. We have HVAC filters and our self-help available. Snow and ice will be removed from the walkways and driveways as well. We do have some changes where that comes. Our contractor will also be doing the sidewalks in front of the home now. So you guys will no longer have to do that. Please be careful when walking on slippery surfaces. Another change is that we will have ice melt available in each mower shed, so all of the lawnmowers that are currently there will be switched, and those will be, those will be snow blowers, and there will be ice melts as well. And then again, sidewalks will be cleaned by the contractor. Next slide, please. least, we will have a caramel apple bar, if you guys are interested, a week from today, 1 to 5, everyone's welcome. Whether if you're a resident or not, please feel free to stop by. We'll also have apple cider too. Any questions, comments, concerns? Thank you.
Next slide, please. All right, PW.
Hi, my name is Shannon Nielsen. I am the Business Operations and Integration Division Chief for the Department of Public Works. As you guys know, in DPW, we do a variety of services, whether it is, facilitating janitorial services and all the way to utility services. So I have the pleasure today to talk to you about our sewage lift stations. Slide, please. With Cadence Communities being our privatized partner, they do own all of the, the maintenance that comes with the homes, but when it comes to the utility systems, that is still part of Public Works, just like, you would see an overhead line system. So I know that a message had gone out through our Public Affairs office a few weeks ago. It was an eye catcher, and it is about what are referred to as flushable wipes, and they are just something that, we all see and say that, hey, that's something that's okay to go into our septic systems. However, they do cause pretty significant damage to us and to our systems across the island. This is both for residential areas and for our other commercial and work buildings. So it's just we're taking some time to put in a plug, unintended, that says that we need to make sure that if this is an issue that you're seeing, or if you're seeing anyone, using products such as this, they are really causing catastrophic problems that will impact us pretty significantly across the board, especially as we come up on winter time, having to, dig up a lift station to be able to do repair to it, for the pumps that are trying to get all of the, sewage from one place to the next, turns into a pretty big problem. So we just wanted to make sure that we made everyone aware of the message that did go out, and to please continue to have some vigilance in ensuring that we keep our utility systems free and clear as much as we can. Any questions on lift stations or sewage systems? Great, slide please. And something else that we like to do quarterly is to let everyone know about some of the ongoing projects that we have. We are working some repairs in Historic Quarters 1, and as we phase through those, hopefully you guys will be able to experience all of the changes and updates there, and we will utilize that facility more and more often. We do have some upcoming work for our elevated water tank. No, we will not be doing it in the winter time. It's something that we will be picking back up here in the spring and summertime. The repair of the 66 and 69 roof, which is over adjacent to First Army and above the gym, is working on completion. It should be wrapped up here very soon. We are working on some electrical lines. You will not see those. These feeders are underground. The Devonport end of the government bridge, hopefully you've all successfully managed the roundabout. One of the few in the area. Nice new, good news story for us there. And another one, I know it says completed, it is not yet completed, but we do have the walking path that comes from along Rodman down to the housing area. So soon that will be open for everyone's use as well. So please be looking forward to additional announcements. Are there any questions I can answer for DPW? Great. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
All right, everyone's favorite, safety. Take it away.
Slide, please. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Faith Dietrich from the Garrison Safety Office, and I'm here to offer you some winter safety tips. So, as you know, winter is coming, right? There are 4 activities I wanted to touch on. The first one is heating the home and office. So hazards associated to that include fire hazard, electrical hazards, and CO. So control measures for fire hazards include, wind rise in your home. So if you haven't scheduled your maintenance, routine maintenance, for your furnace, for your chimney if you have one, I highly recommend you do that. I know it says dryer on there, so that maintenance right there is you can do it yourself. Just make sure you pull up that lint, where it catches all the land, and make sure that it's not full. You can even request service. That's what I did in our home, after we purchased it, was we had a service where they vacuumed all the lint that was stuck there, so you can do that too. Electrical hazards include, it's the holidays coming, so we have Christmas trees, we have other things we want to plug in, the decorations, right? We just want to remind you, friendly reminder, do not daisy chain. Do not daisy chain any appliances with heating element, like electrical heaters, things like that. That needs to be plugged directly to the wall outlet. Do not use an extension cord. Do not use a power cap or multi-plugs. When we have guests coming to our home, right, we want to make sure that they're not only comfortable, but we're putting them in a safe place. So do a sweep in that guest room, do a sweep in that basement, make sure that it's good to go. For CEO, control measures include making sure that every levels in your home is equipped with not only CO but also smoke alarms. Make sure it's functional. There should be a test button that you can press to test that it works. If it's battery operated, we highly recommend you change those batteries every 6 months. And then you replace them as prescribed in the manufacturer's instructions. The next on the list is driving in the winter months. So we're in the Midwest. For those of you that have been here for quite some time, you all know some winters are light, some winters are heavy. But one thing that we gotta make sure of is personal responsibility for our vehicle. Our own vehicle can be a hazard not only to us, but the other motorists on the road. So make sure that you're doing your part by getting your vehicles checked. Make sure the tire tread is still in good condition. This is a good one. This is from we had an incident last year about this. Make sure that your windshield washer fluid is at least 30 degrees or more. When the weatherman forecast or weatherwoman forecast, it's going to be, we're looking at negative 50 degrees. Make sure that your windshield washer fluid can handle that. Because if you can't, you'll be driving around trying to use your wiper to get rid of the ice as you're driving. It's like, so you're distracted while you're driving. You don't want that. We want you guys to be safe. So now's a good time to get that done. Next is poor visibility. Some folks that are here early in the morning or late at night, you may see like dense fog coming in or leaving out. So just be careful. Make sure the lights in your vehicle works. All right, now's a good time to do that too. Heating your car. All right. Most of us have garages, which is wonderful, right? But when you start your vehicle, some folks have those remote starters. Make sure that your garage door is open. But we recommend heating your vehicle outside the garage as far as you can, because some of that, some of those CO can get into your home. Don't want that. Next, pedestrian safety. As you already know, it gets darker sooner now. So please look out for pedestrians on the road. If you want to be proactive with safety, like us, right? Give your kiddos or yourselves some reflectors. It doesn't have to look silly. We make all kinds of cool looking reflectors now. Those would help. And then also watch out for other motorists on the road. A few days ago, while I was driving at night, there were some vehicles, they have no light. I'm guessing it doesn't work. So just watch out for them. Do your part and watch out for other motorists. Severe weather. Freezing temperature is a hazard here. We've seen it last year. We've seen it in 2019 when we went down to negative 50 degrees. So make sure that yourself and your kiddos are equipped with the right gear, the right jacket. If they don't know how to layer, show them how to layer. If you don't know how to layer, you can look it up, Google it up. It makes sense. So you don't want to go to the store and buy the heaviest coat. This is what's going to happen when you wear that. You get hot fast, right? You start to sweat. And when you're sweating and you're out in the cold, you can get hypothermia. So what you want is you want a coat when you're selecting one that you can, layer out or layer in. So, and last but not least is winter fun. So there's a lot of fun activities in the winter. We just want to remind you guys to, practice situational awareness and employ risk management in everything that you do. Any any questions for the safety office?
So, the alert that I get on my phone when something's happening, it used to be that like, Mari could get an alert too. Is there a phone number that we're calling so that you get the post alerts for inclement weather, or is there?
Dean, Dean from EPS.
Let you guys answer that. So we just did our winter GTX Tuesday session.
One thing we'll be doing this year is if you download the My Army Post app, we'll be doing the alerts through there as well as the alert system. But yes, sir, you can add her cell phone into alert, but you have to do it from your system if I remember correctly.
Okay, and so it's a website or something?
Yeah, down in your tray on your computer,
Uh-huh.
there's an alert
Yep,
button in there.
Yep.
If you open that up,
Yep.
you can go in there and add her cell phone in there.
And so what we'll do, we'll send a step-by-step out on the.
I'm good, but we'll capture that. Because it was a question we had in our meeting.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And I have two alibis, I just forgot to mention here. So if you don't already have access to it, the Rock Island Arsenal, we do have an emergency guide for employees and also for residents. So make sure that you have access to that. If you don't have access to that, you can get with me and I can let you know how to do that. There is also an operational status page on the Garrison Public website you can go to check if we do have severe weather. And if you're wondering, do I come in, do I not come in, that will tell you whether or not to come in. All right. Thank you very much.
All right, next slide, please. All right, MWR, Terry.
Good evening, everyone. So the only thing I would caveat on what Faith said is please don't be an ice hole driver. And where you just cleared that little piece on your windshield, please. Okay. Next slide, please. So I'm just gonna give you a couple of highlights because we have a very busy slide because MWR has a lot of activities going on. So under ACS, we just started a new thing, and that is our crochet. Up there it says crochet and conversation. I changed the name. Crochet Collective. Come out and crochet with us. Just sit around. You got a project you're working on, come and work with us. Or if you don't know how to do it, I will find somebody to teach you. I'm not saying I know how. I will find somebody though. We also have some MRT resiliency classes going on, Hunt the Good Stuff, detect icebergs, mental games, things like that throughout the next couple of months. Newcomers will be kicking back off again in January. We don't do it in November and December. Auto Skills has a enter to win tire rotation. So go down to Auto Skills, talk to Jeremy, find out how you can enter to win a tire rotation. Because we all need tire rotations, it keeps us safe. So, CYS has a lot of things going on with the kids, but they are also our point of contacts with the holiday tree lighting, which will be on December 6th. And we look forward to having everybody there. So come out, watch Santa, come in the fire truck, watch us light the Christmas tree, and then come in, have a meal with us inside, go to our vendors. It's gonna be a great night. We really look forward to everybody being here. And then, we have the Army versus Navy flag football game. And I'm going to assume most of you have signed up to participate and be a football player? Not getting a lot of hands, sir. So that'll be on the 13th of December, so please come out and at least watch. It's a great time. Hope for rain or snow, because then if it gets really muddy, it's even better. So, and if you get cold, come inside ACS, we'll have free hot chocolate for you. Leisure Travel has some things going on. They put out today that they're gonna be doing over at Quarters 1. Let's see, breakfast with Christmas elf. So, I mean, does that not sound like fun to everybody? Then we've got let's see. Looks like tonight we have Thanksgiving Bunko as well. So, if anybody knows how to play Bunko, I don't, sorry. So please come and join us for those things. And then as everybody knows, we have the first Fridays in Market Dam. We look forward to everybody coming out for that as well. And then on the 14th of January, we will have the Army versus Navy watch party. That is a great time. And if anybody wants one of them, because that's a lot of information, I brought extras. Next slide. So we have posted all of our MWR holiday hours. They are on the doors of all of our activities. We're gonna send it out as well. So we want everybody to know when we're gonna be there and when we won't be there. So you can come and use the services that we have. Any questions? Yes.
So we had, our town hall, and a couple of comments that voters had was that the rentals are a lot more expensive than what the outside, is quoting. So voters are going off post and using those resources versus the resources that are available to us here for the MWR. And then I don't know if it's a safe assumption that if we're not using the equipment that you guys are renting, that it goes away. I know, you guys did an auction out for a lot of the equipment, like bounce houses, so I'm not sure if the reason why they were being auctioned off was because their business wasn't coming in, but a couple of the comments was that we prefer to go off post or make rentals for like bounce house or tents, because it's just too expensive, at the MWR. So I just wanted to bring that up here.
And we can certainly look into that. What we do is we go out to all of the community and we check their prices before we set ours, and then we make sure that we're lower. So if there are others that have now gone lower, we can look at that when we do our reviews.
And I think part of the problem with that is the timing too. Last time I went in there, like if you wanted something for a weekend, you had to rent it on a Friday while they're open and pay for the whole weekend, even if you only wanted it on Sunday all the way through. And I think that's part of the issue, because if you can go out post and just get it for one day, it's gonna be quite a bit cheaper than having it rented for 3 or 4 days as a holiday.
And I can check on that for you, sir. Yes, ma'am.
So by MCOM policy, we have to be within 10% plus or minus of the aggregate cost of the equipment. So,
Yeah, but did you hear what he said?
yes, sir, I did.
So if we're only opening it, then I have to pick a 3 days, or I can pick one, that's your call.
I gotta check on that, cause I rented a trailer for one day and we had a staffing issue and I only got charged for a day.
Yeah,
So I
you
gotta make
might have
sure-
been-
I know, I gotta make sure that would not
It's
snap.
usually a weekend issue.
Yeah.
When I run into, like, if I want to have it sometime during the weekend, I gotta pick it up while they're open, right?
Yeah, we can get that, we'll get that cleaned up.
Turn it in.
I know when it's been kayaks, cause before I had my own kayaks, I rented, and if I rented on Friday, I didn't pay more, I couldn't turn it in until they were open. So we can certainly check on that.
I tried to rent a trailer, like, a weekend issue.
I just rented, a trailer for moving the rest of my family stuff up here, and it was way cheaper than U-Haul. U-Haul wanted me to pay $685, I spent $140.
I'll get back to you.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Will you be putting your events on the My Army Post app?
Yes, ma'am, I've already started integrating their stuff into it. Right now, it's myself and Kelsey that can add events into the app, so we're still getting stuff built, but we've got as much as possible through the end of December already added, and we're adding more as people are asking us to put them in.
I sent them a large email today with information. Anything else?
Thanks. Next slide, please. So similar to MWR, Garrison's got a couple of hours, that we're gonna have some reduced services. We've got some training events coming up, obviously with the Thanksgiving and holiday schedule. We're gonna get all this consolidated between the MWR, and the Garrison piece, into one slide, and we post it on all of our social media outlets as well as updated, in the My Army Post app. This will go out, through the Rock Outlook, and be available for anybody else that has any questions about it, so. I will say that this weekend is also gonna be the first reopening of the PX on Saturdays, so please go down there, get your haircut, get a Snickers bar or beverage of your choice. We've got a little bit of a trial period going on, between now and the holiday season. We're gonna try and extend that out, and try and figure out what hours best work for folks. We've got some feedback from Colonel McCarthy and First Army, maybe trying to shift the hours a little right. We're
we're trying to capture some of the retirees that come in early morning to the commissary. We're also trying to make sure that we've got folks that can actually get into the Class 6 and the PX after work. And so we're taking a look at all that right now. We're actually taking the senior trainer down there tomorrow to have some discussions with ATs on how we're gonna attack not just their hours and their manning, but also what they're stocking. So you can expect a couple of surveys coming out. I'd ask you to see those, please don't delete them. Let us know, because we are actively trying to figure out how to make this less of a troop store PX and actually things that we care about, that support not just the folks that are here Monday through Friday, but also the very significant Compo 2-3 population that's here on the weekend, and where we can get best value in filling that space with products that when you use your cost-free or your tax-free ability through AFES, and then what's costing a lot out at Best Buy and electronics and things like that, what's worth stocking and what do we actually want to get that's going to support the environment here on the island. I think we'll see a little bit better throughput, especially when the golf course opens in April, as well as when we get the RV campground built. We'll have some of that traffic that's starting to come in to augment our numbers. We want to keep this thing going between now and then. So, go to the next slide, please. All right, so this is the part where we get to answer any of your questions. I don't have any prepared remarks, but I will start off with just a couple of updates as far as what we've got going on. Obviously, the big thing coming out of the holiday season, this holiday season is going to be us reopening the golf course. That's going to be a significant event for us. We anticipate opening in April. We've already had a couple of events where we've taken some folks through the course and kind of worked some of our systems. For those that are curious, the clubhouse is going to start here adjacent to the locking dam. We're trying to put some plans in place for a long-term strategy of where that might go, but for the very near future, until we get some other solutions built, it's going to be in there. We do have the golf simulator that's open. It's available for usage, rental. We've been opening up for nights when the locking dam is open for folks to get in there and figure it out. It's a great team building exercise event. It's kind of top golfy. You can go in there and get your swing fixed through one of our professionals, or you can grab 3 or 4 of your buddies and just you can grip it and have a good time. So there's a lot of opportunity in there between the team, and that'll be open over the winter months. We'll get the hours published. And it's also available right by reservation. So if you want to get some buddies, go during lunch, you want to come in on the weekend, we're building it out to where we can accommodate that type of stuff. The question I get, other than the speed limit question every time, is generally the coffee shop question. So I'll go ahead and talk that one right now. So Sergeant Major and I met with AFES already. We have 3 potential vendors that are willing to come on island. The initial plan right now is to reutilize the old cafeteria and the Quezon room over here. And the long-term plan is to really make this the community hub. And so between having the golf course up here, having a food establishment potentially, and then a coffee shop, the 5 to 10 year plan, I don't know if any of us will still be there, maybe Faith, right? But a couple of us, how do we centralize a lot of the services that we're trying to provide and maximize them being mutually supportive of each other. So in Jello right now is a plan to potentially relocate the PX and the barbershop up to this facility, but we don't have anything to replace Heritage Hall yet. So we're looking at space on the island where we can potentially get us another gathering area that would then consolidate the AFES footprint, put the barbershop next to the golf course. We got a bar, we can consolidate Cokes, and we mass all of that. And I think we get unity of effort, unity of command kind of perspective on how we do those things. So there's a lot of things in the works. There's a lot of things we're trying to get towards. Kind of phase 1 of that is getting the golf course up, hiring that staff, getting more cooks, speeding up lunch delivery, looking at options to get food vendors and coffee vendors on the island and bring back that sense of community. A lot of things that are helping us out right now, ACC Rock Island bringing in their personnel more on Wednesdays, so we're going to use that as kind of a test bed for getting additional food trucks on the island, maximizing buffet style options, and then taking feedback from all of you on how we adjust our food offerings that support folks coming and doing grab and go, getting the food options in the factory set so that the factory's got something going. We just hired our 3rd cook, so we're getting the manning up there. But I do think when we get that redundancy with the golf course staff, we'll see even greater efficiency and flow. We've got more folks that we can hire on to do that. So Those are usually the two big questions I get. Speed limit's 25, it's not 35, because if it was, you go 45, so. But what questions do you have for Sergeant Major, myself, or any of the garrison staff? Yes, ma'am?
So, what's happening with the old golf clubhouse?
So the old golf club, it's the bane of every garrison commander's existence, because it looks really nice, right? The roof looks brand new, and it kinda is. It is falling on itself. You cannot go in there right now with a hazmat suit. We got some raccoons and some other stuff that have taken up residence in there, and so right now, we're looking at a late spring, early summer demo. But we do have a recapitalization plan in place, where we're gonna level that area, and as we look at refocusing kind of our event space, on the quarters one footprint, that's gonna be flattened out and kind of like a parade field / opportunity for us to do concerts. We're working with IMCOM right now to potentially acquire 2 40x80 event tents with floors and HVAC that will then allow us to replicate this space, but down on that footprint. You can roll it up in the summer and have events there. You can roll it down in the winter and actually have some climate control. We won't all freeze and die. And then we can use the backdrop of the water for the Mississippi and then quarters one as a community event space to do things like Armed Forces Day, Boo on the Rock, all of that. We had a great Boo on the Rock this year if you're able to come, because I had a great time. Sergeant Major scared a lot of kids. But it gets tight in here, and we just don't have a good community space. And so I think for an interim solution, we're kind of hanging our hat on a couple of 40x80 tents that we can connect, make one big thing, until we can find a way to put some CPMC projects, a fancy word for non-appropriated fund dollars, to get an actual community event center somewhere on the island. I don't anticipate seeing that while I'm in uniform, just to be really honest. The tents, we've got a soft yes on right now, so we're trying to get that for the spring, and really focus a lot of our community events down on that footprint. As I think Sharon mentioned, we are spending some time, effort, and money on getting quarters one fixed. We got some end of year funding, so we're gonna focus on shoring up some of the foundational stuff that you're not gonna see, but we're also gonna work to make it ADA compliant, so we can open it up and meet code to get more events there. I do feel that getting those tents in that outdoor space will allow us to continue to use that area, even if we have to shut it down inside when we start doing sprinkler systems, HVAC, and the major construction, as those dollars come down over the next couple of years. But our focus and our intent is to really get us in that area. It's closer to most of housing, but it's a great outdoor space. Got the water and all that.
So as a follow-up, what does the demolition look like for the residents that live there? Is there a TMP in place? Is there anything such, are we gonna have to take that back road to get to our residents? How's that gonna work?
I don't wanna lie to you right now, ma'am. We just started putting bids out, and we're working with folks. Like, this is literally in the last 30 days. We've kind of slapped the table on, hey, this is the course of action we're taking. But as soon as we find out at the next one of these, I can come back and kind of, because the demo itself shouldn't take too long to get it torn down, and then it's just trucks picking up stuff and hauling it away, but there will be minimal impact. And I know that one road cutting through that back area is not the smoothest, so, impact, we're trying to make it minimal. But like MediaCom said, we'll make sure that's a late spring, early summer type thing. We'll make sure folks are notified, and we'll do everything we can to minimize the impacts to the housing.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Is it possible to get, for future town halls, is it possible to get representation from the clinic integrated into these?
Absolutely, yes. And so we just had some training and we had some side issues today where they were not able to be here. I know there's a lot of questions on the TRICARE transition. And if there's some specific things that you got questions on, we can definitely take that back and get you a point-to-point answer. But yes, we'll make sure they're here in future meetings.
We just had a few things from First Army that some people had asked, so we're trying to.
Okay, is it the dental question?
Just like dental and some things about physical therapy, like different options
Okay.
for that, so, but.
I've got those. So your team sent those over last night. We've got those, working with the clinic, trying to figure out, especially the privacy issue and physical therapy. The dental one is kind of a big Army. There's no good answer on that, but I'll get you, first of all, I'll shoot you guys kind of point notes on that. We'll get clinic OIC and COIC together. We'll get you that information.
So
scheduling conflicts. I see a lot of these community briefs also scheduled during kits and camos, for instance, tonight, where possibly a good representation of the families that live on base are also trying to enjoy an evening with their kids, you know? How much effort was put into deconflicting schedules so that the population we want to see in this room is more participants rather than briefers.
That's a good point. We'll get that typed up. We'll schedule the fracture side, so we'll get that. Any other questions?
But if you want to go to camera, we can.
Sorry, it's still going on, so it's not over. But that's a very valid point. So, okay. Sorry, Major. Anything from your Fox?
First and foremost, thank you everybody for showing up. Definitely a way better turnout than we did last time. Just keep providing us feedback. Just keep giving us feedback because we only can improve. You guys are like our eyes and ears out there, and we you guys help us get better. So really appreciate all the support and all the feedback. Thank you.
All right, so, feedback is a gift, so we got a couple of due outs. I will compile some of these notes. If you want a point-to-point reply on some of it, please let me know. I'll get your contact information. I'll do a point-to-point. Otherwise, we'll get that information and publish it back out to the council of colonels of each of the organizations as well as the command sergeant majors, and we'll get that out. Additionally, Sergeant Major and myself, we are always available to attend any of your town halls. We appreciated the invite. We've done 2 or 3 so far. We are more than willing to come, whether it's a newcomer's brief, a town hall, whatever sort of venue that you have going on where you want the garrison to give us a quick pitch on what we have, how to tie into some of these services, or just take Q&As. That's kind of what we're here for. Again, we are actively looking for ways to improve. Been in this job now 4.5, 5 months, and I think one of the biggest things we've had to fight is just general apathy from the majority of the population and the community towards Rock Island. And that's, the big kind of punch in the face for me was when I Googled Rock Island Arsenal, the first thing that popped up is Rock Island Arsenal still open? And so we are actively trying to figure out, one, how to combat that from a community engagement perspective to get folks on the island, but also let the community that does live and work here know that there's still folks actively working to try and increase the quality of living, the standards that you expect coming to a military installation, and we shouldn't get anything less than what you can see at some of the other major installations. So it's an uphill battle in some ways, but I can tell you, we don't let the fact that we're only 1.5 square miles change the perception. We still deserve the same level of quality of services that you would get anywhere else. And so, to Sergeant Major's point, if there's something that we're not doing or something that maybe that we missed, please let us know. Do not get afraid anytime I see a nice comment pop into the inbox. I actively welcome that, and we will. Matter of fact, I have a bi-week mandatory response from any of my directors anytime that we get a nice comment back to, hey, what are we doing to fix this, and how do we get that back? And so in future ones of these, we'll screen out some of them because some of them are just about the speed limits, or potholes, which we will fix. But there's some pretty good feedback that we get in those. We want to make sure we're sharing that information with everybody and then the tangible actions that the team is taking to fix that. So if you're taking the time to let us know, we know to get the information back. Doesn't mean you have to put your name on there if you don't want to, but if you do, you will get an email back from myself or the command sergeant. So just offer that up. We're not scared of the ICE system. It's a great tool. Please use it. So.
Next meeting, next coming year?
So we gotta do some scheduled deconfliction, but we're looking at doing this once a quarter, probably in February, just so we can get through January, get everything settled out. And we'll have that'll give us enough time to work through some of the planning on some of the big projects, as well as give you a little more detailed information on what we're trying to do on the MWR side of the golf course and some of that opening here in the coming months. If the weather is mild, we will do a soft opening for military and civilians on island before we open up the general public. But we're slapping the table right now, weather dependent, that we're gonna do a general opening in April. So if you've seen it, it's starting to look a lot better. Little work to do on the greens, a couple of the fairways, but it's about 80% right now. So we're excited. I think that's gonna be a game changer for a couple of weeks. So, Next slide, I think that was it. Next slide. All right, last paid advertising, please download, share, use, comment, critique, let us know. And then for the folks that have kind of positions of authority in your organizations, if there's stuff you need us to adopt for the Miami Post staff, Don Wren, we're working it through the Installation Community Engagement Working Group. We're asking for every organization on the island to dedicate one person to be that conduit for information flow or change that they want to see on there. And so there's an active working group trying to get this. I think we're up to 501.
547 as of this afternoon.
So 547 downloads out of about 6,200 people that are here. So we're getting traction. I think when we tell everybody that you can find out if the bridge is opening or closing, and if you're trying to get to Davenport, that might be our big draw. Please share, download, let us know. All right. Pending any questions, our major and the team will be here. If there's anything else.
And just say one more thing.
Carrie.
So, one of the things that MCOMG Night has done, and we haven't done this since 2012, is they put out a customer needs survey. And so, I'm asking that everybody go and do the customer needs survey. It's posted on the Rock Island Arsenal Army Community Service Facebook page. I'm sure Mr. Wren can post it as well. Go in, put Rock Island Arsenal, tell us what you think. What is it you want to see here? It goes into ACS, business, recreation. It's a great opportunity to let your voice be heard. Please. Thank you, sir.
All right. Any questions? That's all we have for.
Sir?
I'm sorry. One more. I'm sorry.
Could you possibly put out a Facebook post that has like every Facebook page for this island?
Yes.
Just in like
So
one,
if you're
just in
familiar
like
with-
in one post?
If you're familiar with Linktree, we're getting the permissions to put a Linktree link that'll have literally
That would
every
be
single
great.
one. And I'm also in the process of consolidating and deactivating some other ones.
Yeah, but
We've got
it just,
way
Yeah.
too many.
cause every once in a while I see a Facebook page that I didn't even know existed, and I was like, ooh, this could have been cool a
Yeah.
month or two ago.
We got a little common refresher
But,
set too, so we're.
yeah, there's a lot of out there that are unofficial pages that we need to try and get reined in, but yeah, Roger.
So, yeah, so we're gonna put it on a Linktree app for the official ones that'll say, because there are some by regulation that we have to have, and obviously there's the official one that's sanctioned and all that, so, but that's too good. We'll get that out. All right, if any questions, again, sorry we could not be here, thank you all for attending.